Welcome. It's good to see you again. Today we're going to talk about one of the most common and popular perennials in the garden, and they're easy to grow, are hostas. There are over 70 species, hundreds of varieties from petite to really huge varieties. They have flowers on them, pink flowers, lavender flowers, white flowers. Probably make one of the most reliable borders you could have. Now I would caution you, they are toxic to dogs and cats. Now I've had many in my garden and I have 2 dogs and I've never had an issue, but if you have a dog or a cat that likes to dig up and eat your plants, you might want to consider where you plant them or if you plant them. But today we're going to dig some up and divide them up because it's fall now and it's the time of year to do that. So come on, let's do it. So welcome back everybody here at Brucemore. What I thought I'd show you today is how to transplant some perennials. Now, what's really cool about perennials is if they get too big for an area and you want to thin them out, you can always pull them up and put them in other places in the garden, or you can pot them up, give them to friends, or you can put them in the trash can if you don't want them. But today, what we're going to do is show you how to transplant hostas, because hostas are probably the easiest thing to transplant ever. And why we want to do it here is because, believe it or not, we used to have 4 huge ash trees over here. And of course, I know we keep talking about our derecho, but derecho came and took those out. So these beds in this particular part of the garden were shady beds. Now the shade is gone. So over the course of the last 4 years, things have started to really die out. And if you look at these hostas, you can tell they're starting to burn up because they're just getting too much sun. Now they're shaded by some perennials, but overall they're just starting to burn up. Like these over here, these are a really good example of what happens when they start burning up. So unfortunately, they've got to come out of here. But I thought, well, this is a perfect example of how you can transplant and dig up perennials. Of course, I like my root slayer, but you can get any kind of shovel or spade, whatever you want to use to dig these things out. This is really my cool daddy root slayer. I have a little handheld one. There's one that's thin, there's one that's kind of fatter, and then there's this one. What I absolutely love about this is it has this sharp edge here, which you can sharpen too if they start to get dull. And what's good about it is it's good for transplanting perennials like these hostas, or if you want to dig out those mulberries that pop up in the garden, or any other tree. Like we have these red buds that are popping up in here. We have a red bud over there and they keep seeding in here and they get these big roots and trees in them. And so with this thing, you can usually go in there, you got to use a little elbow grease, but you can go in there and cut them right off. And see, pulls it right out. Then you got the root and all, and then you don't have to worry about it coming back. Root slayer, man. That's why they call it a root slayer, because it slays the roots. You want to go way kind of underneath the soil and kind of push down and pull them up. You may have to go make a big circle around them, like so. With hostas, you don't really have to worry too much about ripping up the roots and all that. Not all perennials are as forgiving as hostas, but that's why I wanted to use these as an example. But so you see, you dig them up, and then, as you can see, you got most of the root ball there. What I like to do is you don't want to take all your garden soil out, so I shake them up a bit to leave the garden soil there. But now, what you could do is you've got, probably 6 or 7 plants in here, and you can easily divide them up just like this. Now, I wouldn't do this in the middle of summer. Of course, we're in meteorological fall. It's not actual fall yet. Fall will come at the end of this month, but it's still an okay time to do it. Today, the weather got a little warm, but again, these are hostas. I really don't think you can kill a hosta. But there you go. See, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 little plants there. And what you can do is when you go to pot them up, I would cut back the roots just a little bit. They're going to be in a little bit of shock. You might want to also cut some of the leaves off, especially the dead ones. Any flowers, if there's flowers on the plant. And then right there you can, again, divide that up into a couple. There's even more plants there. Pot them up, set them in a shady spot, or just transplant them into a shady spot. And then sit back and watch them grow. Pretty simple, and that's the cool thing about perennials, is that you can do that. All right, that's it. Thanks for coming. We always like seeing you. And if you like what you see, leave us a comment below. We'll try to answer those. And until next time, we'll see you later. Hasta la vista, baby. We hope you enjoyed it. And if you want to see more, hit the like button, the notification bell, and subscribe to the channel.